Flexing isn't a verb, flexing is a way of life. The higher you go in business, the more they embody the flex, showing off their money, superiority, status, or just simply the fact that they're him. Lucky for you, I have a PhD in flexes, and today I'm going to reveal to you the biggest flexes in business. Let's get to it. We can't start off with a flex without talking about the greatest company of all time, Apple. Apple is home of the biggest war chest, but also home of the biggest flexes. On May 28, 2014, Apple announced that they were acquiring Beats for $3.5 billion. At the time, this was Apple's largest acquisition. Many analysts were confused about the move, but Apple knew what the they were doing. This was a power move at the highest level. Apple saw Beats generate $1 billion in 1 year, but they knew that they could boss it up. Once Apple acquired Beats, they learned the secret sauce, took their talent, and then they shelved their biggest competitor. After getting the blueprint from Beats 2 years later, Apple launched AirPods. This changed the game. In 2022 alone, AirPods generated $14.5 billion in revenue with a 50% profit margin. Not only did Apple take over their trap, but they did it better on some Drake shit. Hindsight is 2020, but I would have been tight. Staying in the music industry, Michael Jackson is known for being the king of pop, but I know him as being the king of flexes. In 2004, Eminem dissed Michael Jackson on track. Instead of punching down or responding, Mike did some boss shit, I ain't gonna lie. He went out and bought Eminem's catalog, so whenever he performed a song or got a stream, Mike get a cut of that check. And I ain't gonna lie, man, getting paid off your ops is pretty nasty work. Every time they drop music, a check come to you. Every time I perform, a check come to you. I ain't gonna lie, I would've had to scrap with Mike. Next flex! Shifting gears, the flex of the decade award might actually gotta go to Amazon. Jeff Bezos might seem like a lighthearted guy, but when it comes down to business, he's a savage. No 21. Don't believe me? In 2009, Diaper.com was on the rise. They were revolutionizing the diaper industry by optimizing the packages for their products and positioning warehouse close to metro populated areas. This allowed them to get cheaper ground shipping rates and also help offer overnight shipping to most customers faster than Amazon could at the time. Bezos knew that Diapers.com would become a rival in the near future if it was left unchecked. So guess what he did? He checked them. Amazon offered to buy Diapers.com, but they refused to sell it. Knowing Jeff, he wouldn't tolerate this level of disrespect. This meant war. He was ready to go to war. Amazon decided to cut their diapers prices by 30%. And predictably, Diapers.com did the same thing. Amazon then went on to lower their prices even further because they knew Diapers.com didn't have enough money to go to war. With the profit margins of baby products already being razor thin, Amazon estimated a $200 million loss in 1 month with the price cuts. With both companies bleeding money, it was a game of chicken. Despite generating $300 million in revenue the year before, Diapers.com was running out of money. No VC firm wanted to even invest in them because they didn't want to get into a pissing competition with Amazon. Diapers.com went on to meet with Amazon for a ceasefire, but as soon as they arrived, Amazon launched a service called Amazon Mom. Mid-meeting. Amazon Mom offered free shipping and even more discounted prices. With the walls closing in, Diapers.com finally decided to sell to Amazon for $545 million. The CEO was not happy because he did not want to sell to Amazon. Amazon lost close to $1 billion just to destroy their competition, but more importantly, they wanted to send a message. It's get down or lay down. And if that's not a flex, I don't know what the is. Don't get it twisted. You don't have to be a billionaire to flex. This next flex comes from the People Champ, one of the craziest flexes of all time. You might know him as a legendary roaring kitty. Keith Gill invested $53,000 into GameStop in 2019. He claims he felt like the stock was undervalued. At the time, nobody else agreed. So what did he do? He created his own value. Using his YouTube channel and Wall Street Bets, he convinced all the retail traders to invest into this stock. He single-handedly manipulated the price of GameStop by artificially increasing the value. This turned his $53,000 investment into a $48 million investment at its peak. Every time a big investor even tried to short the stock, even more people will invest into GameStop, rising up the price and squeezing out all of the short sellers. Flexing on hedge funds is a feat. After securing the bag, he had to testify in front of Congress. Wearing the biggest cap of all time, he rejected the notion that he played a key role in the GameStop craze. After flexing on Congress and beating the feds, he disappeared for a while. He ended up getting a documentary on Netflix. This cemented him as being a legend in the retail investing community. After 3 years with no social media posts, this is where the flex comes in. He posts one fucking meme about GameStop and the stock soared 110% in 1 day. AMC the same day soared 78%. No one man should have all this power, but manipulating the stock market with one meme is a huge flex. I can't even cap. If you find value in this video, please let me know so I can drop part 2.